Hi, Phil Schonberg, Fastpitch Power. I had a great question asked by one of our followers, a developing pitcher, about 13 years old, who we just started to introduce a curveball. Now, I want to say that in the years that we've been doing this and the hundreds of pitchers we have personally trained, I can count on one hand the number of girls who at 11, 12, or even 13 years old are throwing actual movement pitches. Now, that's not to say that you can't start developing movement pitches in younger athletes, but the expectation needs to be realistic. And if you have a kid who comes to you and says at 11 or 12 years old, oh yeah, I throw a drop ball, a curveball, a screwball, a rise ball, it's not the case. In almost all situations, that's not the case. A real movement pitch requires a tremendous amount of spin in order to get the bite you need on the ball to have that be an actual effective curveball, drop ball, rise ball, screwball, what have you. The question that was asked by this follower was, as we were introducing this pitch, was we teach that we want our pitchers to be able to get to their destination as quickly as possible when they are delivering a ball, so that their ball can get to its location in the manner in which that pitch is meant to get down the pitching lane. Now, what do I mean by that? We've gone through this many times before, the difference between destination and location. Destination is the point at which my hand needs to reach going down the throw zone in order to maximize the effectiveness of my pitch. Location is where the ball will end up going down the pitching lane if I have reached my destination in an optimal fashion going down the throw zone. So when we teach a curveball, and I'm just talking about a curveball because that's the question that was asked, we teach a crossover. Let me explain. I've drawn a power line. Hopefully you can see it in the ground. When I come off the pitching rubber to throw my fastball, I'm going to get into power K position. My stride foot will be slightly an inch or two to the left of the power line, giving me an excellent hand path with my ball and elbow, my hand and elbow on the power line in the throw zone, enabling me to deliver that ball to my location with maximum speed and command. When we teach a curveball, we teach a crossover. And the question that was asked was, well, when you do that crossover, isn't that going to give away what pitch you're going to be throwing? That is an excellent question. The first thing we're trying to do here is to develop the ability in that young pitcher to feel the difference between the throw zone, the front side resistance, the body position in throwing a curveball from throwing a fastball or any other pitch. So what we mean by the crossover is power line, as you saw from my fastball, I'm landing slightly to the left of the power line, opening up my throw zone so that my hand can be on it and get down it without any kind of mechanical breakdown. When I throw a curveball, I am going to be landing my stride foot slightly to the right of my power line. This changes the shape of the throw zone. If I draw a line from my drive foot toe to my stride foot toe, it's going to be shaped like a curveball. My elbow is going to come to the back of the throw zone, and the reason, another reason that we're using this methodology for training young pitchers is I want my destination, which is here, the top of my pocket, to be as close to my hand as possible. The shorter my throw zone and the quicker I get down it, the more spin is going to be imparted on the ball. And let's not forget, any movement pitch you throw, whether it's a drop ball, a curveball, a screwball, a rise ball, it's the spin that makes the ball move. The faster you can get that ball to spin, the more that ball is going to bite, and the later it's going to move on its way to its location. That's what we're trying to accomplish as an effective pitcher. The question of will the crossover diminish the effectiveness of the other pitches, because after a while the hitters are going to see, well, when her foot lands there, she's throwing a curveball. That is an excellent question and a good point. In a 12 or a 13-year-old pitcher who is developing the ability to throw that pitch, I want to make sure that they feel that front side resistance and the ability to get to their destination as quickly as possible. As that pitcher develops, becomes a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old pitcher, and everything gets stronger and everything gets quicker, the amount of crossover, the distance that I cross over the power line, can become smaller and smaller and smaller, so that there is very little difference between the stride of any pitch or the landing of any pitch you throw, whether it's a drop, a rise, a screw, or a curve, from one pitch to the next. So in developing, we want to make sure that we feel that, and that we're getting down our throw zone as quickly as possible with front side resistance. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm opening my body and moving my destination away from my ball. That is going to take spin and bite off the ball, and it's going to create drift or no movement at all. Ball's going to hang in the middle of the strike zone, and when that happens, we call that a home run. So, when you're developing young pitchers, you want to first develop the feel for the pitch, the feel for the body position, the ability to maintain that front side resistance and get down your throw zone as quickly as possible with maximum spin. And as that pitcher develops, that crossover can become less and less and less until there's virtually no difference, maybe an inch or two, between the fastball or a screwball or a curveball. And if I've got my batters, I don't care what level you're at, looking down at my feet when I'm delivering a ball at 62, 63, 65, 68 miles an hour, you know what? I'll take my chances. If that batter's not looking at my hand, then that batter's at a disadvantage. I hope that this has been useful. I hope that this has answered that follower's question. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear them. Love to hear how you experience these developmental issues. Talk to you next time.